Welcome to the Fostering Change Podcast, Season 3. I'm Rob Shear, the founder of Comfort Cases and your host. Together, we have made such a difference in the world. We've met with leaders and change makers in the foster care system. We've met with charities and philanthropists, celebrities, authors, and so much more. We'll continue to bring you guests who will share how together as a community we can bring about change. Welcome once again to Fostering Change. Well, here we are for another episode of Fostering Change. It is so hard to believe that we are already in February, and what a year it has been. 2021 has changed so many lives, but especially has changed the lives of kids in foster care. I think about it every single morning when I wake up. I think about the number 700. That's what we average in our country every single day. That's one child every 2 minutes that come into foster care. And let me remind each and every one of us, as I say this quite often, kids enter foster care because of choices other people made. My next guest, he actually knows that firsthand. And he's raising his son to be what I call a good human. I think as dads, and by the way, you all know my 5 kids that are hanging on the wall behind me, being a dad is one of the biggest gifts that was ever given to me. And I know the same exact thing is for my friend John. So without any more interruption, John and Jack Barlow, welcome to Fostering Change.
Thank you very much. We're happy to be here. This is awesome.
I have to tell you, I actually heard your story through your mom. For those who do not know, Lisa is on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake. And that's how I first originally heard about your connection to foster care. And I will tell you, I was so fascinated. It's for me, I grew up in the system and I was not lucky enough to be adopted. I aged out at 18 and over 25,000 kids who age out every year. I was part of the 70% that was homeless and literally lived on the streets my entire senior year of high school. So when I hear about people like the two of you who are giving back to kids in the system, I'm going to tell you something that makes my heart smile because neither one of you had to do this. So tell me, I'd like to start out with, how did Fresh Wolf start?
So really kind of a brainchild of Jack's. Rewind a little bit though. Lisa started a company for women's beauty care, shampoo, conditioner, lotions, that sort of thing. And she's done it with a few other people. These were some celebrities. And Jack sat in on some of the forming meetings, to brainstorm about the products, what they wanted to name it, that sort of thing. And after one of the meetings, Jack pulled Lisa aside and me, and he said, "Hey, you guys are doing this for them. Can you do it for me? Can you do it for me and Henry?" And so Jack, he's an impressive kid. He's always been very entrepreneurial minded. He's known as creating business plans on Post-it notes from the age of 4. And some of our friends still tease him about it. But we told him, we said, "Hey, put together a plan, come back and talk to us and tell us what you want to do." And he did. It was a really well thought out plan as far as what kind of products he wanted. He wanted men's grooming products, what he wanted in the lineup. And then we included Henry, our 10-year-old, and wanted him included as well. And so they came up with the name Fresh Wolf because that's what Jack kind of nicknamed Henry. And so Henry said he wanted the brand to be named Fresh Wolf. They picked out the scent for all of the products. And then also on top of it, it was impressive. We wanted to teach Jack and Henry from a ground level up about business, creating businesses, running businesses. And we also wanted them to learn about giving back to the communities. And so it was actually Jack's idea to focus on foster care as far as a give back program with Fresh Wolf.
So Jack, I've got to ask you, so you knew your father's story, the fact that he had started out and spent some time in foster care?
Yeah, I knew that from when I was little. I'd always watch Meet the Robinsons, and I'd always ask my dad if that's what it was like for him.
Wow, that is amazing. I have to tell you, I am so impressed. I actually have the product here. My boys, actually, I have 4 boys, and we make sure that they use it. And the reason is not just because it's a great product. And by the way, I'm here to tell you, it's in my hair right now. It is a great product. But what I absolutely love is the fact of how you are leading by example. John, I will tell you, empathy is something that none of us are born with. It's not in our DNA. And it is something that needs to be taught. And I see that that's exactly what you're teaching Jack and Henry. When, my boys have come to me with some crazy ideas before too, but, with a son who's grown up with putting business plans on Post-its, you probably knew that this was going to be an absolute hit.
Yeah, no, Lisa and I had no problem helping him out with running it. We all, it's a family unit. I mean, if you've watched the show from season 1, you saw me asking Lisa, hey, let's not take on any more projects. Let's focus on our family. So her way of getting her way is to create a project with the family all together. And so she's very smart. She knows what she's doing. But
I'm going to have to say, I'm going to take her line and I'm going to say, I love that. The sign is behind you. And those who follow Lisa knows that's exactly what she says. And I absolutely love that. Speaking of the show, and I actually watched the show and I was so impressed this season, John, when your sons put together, basically a thank you. You guys all got together and you talked about the children in foster care in the state of Utah. So I see that you both are very active in that. Can you tell me, what is the system like in Utah compared to where I live, right outside the District of Columbia?
It's more prevalent than we expected, put it that way. I hate to admit that we didn't know a whole lot about the foster care system before really getting into it, but we've learned a great deal. Kind of like what you said, these children are displaced not because of any decisions they've made. And, it can last anywhere from a day or a week to a month, or like you said, till you age out. And so it's been a real eye-opening experience for us, and we've appreciated it. We work here, there's a few different agencies in the state of Utah. We work specifically with Utah Foster Care. It seems to be kind of the overarching group, and they've been wonderful to work with. It's been a great experience for us. Like I said, I mean, what we tell a lot of people to help put things in perspective is families receive roughly $15 a day, at least here in Utah, to help clothe the children, feed the children, take care of them. For us to put our pet dog in a daycare, it's $50 a day. And so, to hear that is just, it's crazy. I'm like on the other end of the spectrum that you went through. I actually, I have a pause, I didn't age out. I was only in foster care for a short time before I was adopted. And I'm very grateful for that. My parents adopted my older sister, myself, and my younger brother, all from different families, and then had a daughter of their own. And they raised us, letting us know that we were adopted, not in a negative way, but as a special way, letting us know that we were wanted. And so, for us, foster care is a huge ordeal. I mean, every child deserves to have a great childhood. And, when Jack came up with the idea of foster care, we were 100% behind him.
I absolutely love that. Jack, I have to ask you, being a business guy, and by the way, my background is business. I'm 27 years as a banker. I did not do this nonprofit world until I wanted to do what your dad's doing, which is I wanted to teach my kids to give back. That, we're very, very lucky and fortunate and blessed. And so, I wanted to teach him that. But what my question for you is being a businessman, knowing that the bottom line means so much, and you're sitting here sacrificing your bottom line because every time someone buys, one of your products, you're giving one to a youth in foster care. How does that make you feel?
I love giving back. It makes me feel really good. And I love being able to just help people out. And I think helping people is just like the best way to make you feel good. So
Yeah.
I just love that.
I agree with you. I always say this all the time. It makes my heart smile every time I see a kid get a comfort case, and it's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. As a kid who grew up in the system and meeting so many kids, and by the way, all of my children were adopted through foster care. My oldest arrived at the age of 18. Can't even imagine me asking my foster parents, much less my children, when they were in the system, for a product that is as great as Fresh Wolf. So, one of the things, so how many units have you given out so far?
We don't have an exact number. We know it's in the thousands, and our goal is to give out as many as we can. I mean, we're still a rather new company, and focused right now kind of on social media as far as advertising. Obviously, Bravo is a phenomenal platform, reaching globally. And the really neat thing that I've found with Bravo is they are 100% supportive of Jack and Henry and Fresh Wolf. And so, our like I said, our goal is to just continue expanding and giving back as much as we can.
The fact is that when I watch the show, and I've actually met your wife and we message quite often, and I've said to her, the sad part is that, what you see on the screen is truly not what you always are. But what I saw from Jack and Henry is just the pure, absolute innocence of wanting to make the world better. Wanting to make the world better. Is that something, Jack, you're an 11th grader now. I have a 9th grader, a 12th grader, an 8th grader, a 7th grader, and a sophomore in college. Being an 11th grader, when you go to school and you talk about how you're building this company, what do your friends say?
Everyone's super supportive of it. Everyone thinks, like, all my friends especially, we all think that people deserve to have like the best life possible. And so when they see me helping kids out, they like to help me out so then I can help them out further.
Yeah.
So it's just like a really cool thing.
I love that. I love that. The fact is that in Utah and, and throughout our country, the number of kids that are entering foster care is larger than we've ever seen, by the way. The pandemic, the only thing the pandemic basically did was put a pause on our frontline workers who see these kids who are neglected and abused, and knowing that they're coming in and, to be able to give a product like you have to, that is just absolutely amazing. Listen, everyone, we're going to take a quick break here. I want you to do me a favor. I want you all to go to freshwolf.com. I get my product on Amazon. You can order right through the website, but do me a favor. Order some products. We'll be right back. Comfort Cases is now partnering with Clean the World, an amazing organization dedicated to water, sanitation, and hygiene. Clean the World operates recycling centers across the world. Hong Kong, the Netherlands, Las Vegas, Orlando, and including our nation's capital. They are leading a global hygiene revolution. They are distributing recycled soap and hygiene products from more than 8,000 travel and hospitality partners. Clean the World has made the decision to donate hygiene products to Comfort Cases so we can place them in our cases. These products are so important to our youth that are entering foster care. Having their own brand new hygiene product really means a lot to them. These donations will truly give these kids an amazing feeling of self-worth. I want to thank you so much, Clean the World. And for more information how you can donate, please visit their website at cleantheworld.org. I am so excited to be able to have my friend John and Jack Barlow here with us on Fostering Change. And, people don't realize that we all have a story. Every single one of us. And we never know how that story is going to impact another person. The fact to find out that John actually started his life in the system, that he has siblings who were adopted. It's something that I think that we all should talk about. I know many, many years ago, I didn't want to tell people that I was in foster care because I was scared how people would react to me. And the fact, John, that I've been told by your son that he's known since you were very little, that you were in foster care just shows me what a change that we are making. So I want to thank you personally for that, because I do believe that talking about things is how we change things. And our system, as it is in Utah and throughout our country, I mean, when I hear you make that comment of $15 a day, and then I look in my state, which, by the way, we are the highest paid when it comes to foster parents. They pay over $43 a day. This doesn't make any sense. I mean, I'm like you. It's like, I board my dog and I pay twice as much as that to board my dog. And we can't even give our kids. And by the way, I say our kids because these kids belong to you and I, they belong to us. We can't even give them a future. Back to you, Jack. You've got this product. You have shampoo, you have conditioner, you have a body wash, you have which, by the way, I absolutely love this. Okay, as
Good
you
stuff.
put on my hair,
Yeah,
I
it's in my
absolutely
hair
love
right
this. So explain to me exactly how this all starts when it's like, okay, you're going to pick the fragrance, and how do you do that?
So the fragrance, it's similar to Dior Sauvage, and that's personally my favorite cologne. I just think it smells so good. And then all the girls like it too. And so that's important to me. Yeah, I just said, Mom, do you think we could do this? And then she like talked to the lab, and then the lab said, yeah, we could do that. And so then we chose Dior Sauvage as the fragrance.
Nice, nice. So I got to ask you this question, my friend. You use the product, all the products?
Of course, every single one. Like if I didn't use it, how would I expect other people to use it?
I agree. I agree. What about Henry?
Henry
Oh,
uses
yeah.
it. Oh yeah. Every day.
So the funny thing with Henry is I've buzzed his hair up until last year. And he actually has been wanting to he uses the body wash. He's been wanting to use the hair products. His hair is now grown out. You'll see it, you've probably seen on social media, but every day he does his own hairstyle. He puts the wax in, everything. So he loves it.
I absolutely love that. Being the fact I remember just recently, because Jack, I follow you on social media, and I actually I follow Fresh Wolf and your dad and your mom, and I was so excited when I saw Andy Cohen actually endorse your product. And I have to tell you, Andy. I mean, come on, he's Andy Cohen, and he has the choice to endorse, pick and choose anything that he wants to endorse. And the fact that I saw that he endorsed your product, I mean, I was so impressed with that. How did that make you feel?
It was awesome. Andy Cohen, he's a big name, and so just seeing that big of a name support my product, it was just awesome. It made my heart feel good.
Yeah, I will have to tell you, I was pretty impressed as well. If I could have even a quarter of the followers he has, I mean, I do know Andy, and I know that Andy would not stand behind a product just because Bravo told him to. And so I know that he really, really, was happy to help you out. Being a kid who the last, couple of seasons you're growing up on TV, my 5 kids, we've been on, quite a few TV shows and been with Ellen and everything. And sometimes it's pretty hard when the cameras are always in our face. How do you feel about that?
I was like 14 when we first started filming, and at that young, it was hard to get used to it. But as I've gotten older, it's just gotten easier. And then I'm 17 now, and it's just super easy now. Like it's like the cameras aren't even there.
You don't even recognize
awesome.
the cameras are there anymore.
He's a professional.
Yeah, basically.
Well, I'll tell you what, my friend, you'll have to come and help some of my kids out, and sometimes even me, because sometimes it gets really intimidating. The fact that I love that your mom is so real on the show, and I'm going to bring this up because I was so impressed. An episode that I just recently watched, and I don't get to watch it all the time when they air, but I've never missed an episode. But an episode that I just recently watched, I absolutely could feel the passion in your mother's voice when she said, "This is about my kids, and my kids are the one who chose to be a part of an event that you had thrown." And you could see it in Lisa's eyes, and you could hear it in her voice, the passion and the love she has for you and Henry. When you go back and you watch that, and you just see your mom turn into that, she's a mama bear altogether. That's got to make you feel so good.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love her. She's the best mom ever.
She is the best. She is the best. So do you get a lot of love from the other women for the product?
Yeah, they're all super supportive of it. It's awesome.
It's a neat, what I've noticed is it's a neat sorority throughout the whole Bravo verse, if you want to call it that. I mean, there's Lisa, whenever she's, what was it? I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. You know, it's not always easy to be on the show. You have people on social media saying whatever they want. And I told Lisa that just to remember she's part of a special group. And, you know, Jack plays sports, I played sports, so I kind of compared it to like the NBA. In the NBA, there's only a finite number of athletes that make it to the NBA. And Lisa's in that finite group in the housewife franchise. And it's great because they all support each other, like throughout all of the franchises. It's really neat.
Yeah, I see that. I absolutely love it. But you know what? I will tell you that what I love more than anything is this product. The fact that this product is getting airtime, that, you know, it's getting people to talk about Fresh Wolf, that it's getting people to go to your website, it's getting people to place orders, because every single time, and I've talked about this, I actually did a video today that's getting ready to be released about your product, with your product, because what I was telling my followers is that every single time you buy one of these products, it is helping a child that's in the system. And it's, in as much as I might get some backlash at fostering change at comfortcases.org, as much as I'm going to say this, it normalizes them. It truly lets them be a part of what every other child is. You know, my kids walk into a store and they don't think twice about asking for me to buy them something because they're my kids. But a kid who's in the system, they don't get that as much. So I absolutely cannot thank you enough for all that you are doing. You know, Jack, I want to know, as we're ending this, what's next?
We have some more products coming out. We're about to go into stage 2 of Fresh Wolf. So that's like beard oil and cool stuff like that. So that's what's next.
I love that. I absolutely love that. John, I got a personal question to ask you. Did you grow up as a Mormon?
I did. Yeah. I was born. I guess I was technically born too, because I just found my biological mom about 4 or 5 years ago. And so I guess I can say I was born and raised technically, because she is LDS. And so, but she just happened to get pregnant. But yeah, so I was raised Mormon.
Yeah, so I was raised Mormon as well. So there's another connection that you and I have, is that I was raised in the LDS church. And as a matter of fact, about every other day within our national center where we pack comfort cases, it is filled with missionary sisters and elders. They come every single week. And they help us pack cases for kids that are in foster care. And by the way, I keep up with these missionaries through social media after they've gone from their mission and headed back home. And so, you know, something that the church has always taught me is that, you know, our Heavenly Father loves us unconditionally. And I truly, truly do believe that. So I cannot thank you both enough for, you know, leading by example. Jack, you know, 17 years old, 11th grader, you know, you could be thinking about just yourself and yourself only, but you're truly showing other kids out there that it's not the me, that it's the we. And, you know, truly being a doer, I can't thank you enough. And John, you know, you and Lisa, you've knocked it out of the park with Henry and Jack. And I just want to say bravo to you both.
We know we're lucky with, as you know, their parents. We lucked out.
Yeah, well, you know what? As a dad, I know exactly what that feels like, and it feels good. Listen, everybody, I am truly, truly asking you, please visit, you know, freshwolf.com. Try the product out. You know, send me an email. I will guarantee you that you're going to love it just as much as I and my boys love it. I want you to please do me a favor and follow Fresh Wolf on their Instagram page and see some of the new products that are coming out. I know a lot of our viewers and our listeners, you've got that beard that's growing. Jack's got some surprises for you all. And you know what? The one thing we each want to do, every single one of us, you want to support companies that support your community. Because when you support your community, you make the foundation of our nation stronger. Until next time, everyone, take care. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for listening or watching the latest episode of Fostering Change. All of us on our team hope that you've learned something new today and have been inspired to be a good human. Now, just a reminder that you can always find Fostering Change on your favorite channels on Google, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, and others, including, of course, comfortcases.org. I want to give a big thank you to all of you for joining us each and every week. And a reminder that if you have a suggestion for a guest, or maybe you might have a question about today's podcast, or are interested in becoming a sponsor of Fostering Change, please don't hesitate to email me personally at fosteringchange@comfortcases.org. Now, that's it for now. Thanks again, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Take care.